Knowing the ins and outs of how people act is very important for doing well in life. Robert Greene's The 48 Laws of Power gives deep ideas into dealing with these complex things, with Law 2 telling us to not fully trust friends and instead use enemies in a smart way. Let's look at why using this idea is needed to move through the tangled web of social connections. In Robert Greene's famous book, The 48 Laws of Power, Law 2 warns people to be careful about putting complete trust in friends and instead learn how to use enemies well. While this may seem bad at first, a closer look shows wise thoughts that apply in many situations. By looking at stories from history and timeless tales, we see how important this idea is for good judgment, strategic moves, and personal growth. 1. Building good judgment in relationships. The story of Julius Caesar and Brutus is a sad example of the complexities in relationships between people, showing why good judgment and trusting yourself matters. Caesar's bond with Brutus was all about loyalty and betrayal, proving that even the strongest ties can break due to the pull of power and ambition. Caesar rose to fame by making allies and earning loyalty from peers like Brutus. As a mentor, Caesar gave Brutus many favors and chances, making Brutus feel indebted and friendly. However, with political games and power struggles in the Roman Republic, Brutus felt torn between being loyal to Caesar and staying true to the Republic's ideals. The conspirators, led by Cassius Longinus, used Brutus's doubts and insecurities, twisting his sense of duty and patriotism to make him think Caesar's power was a danger to Roman democracy. Despite Caesar's fatherly care and trust, Brutus listened to the conspirators' tempting words, betraying his mentor and friend in a tragic show of political gain. The fateful Ides of March ended with Caesar's bloody death at the hands of Brutus and the other conspirators, forever changing Roman history. Caesar's final, sorrowful recognition of Brutus among his killers perfectly shows the crushing betrayal brought on by blind trust and misplaced loyalty. Looking back, the tragedy of Caesar and Brutus warns against putting full faith in others without using good judgment and self-reliance. By putting your own mind first and thinking critically, people can deal with the complexities of relationships skillfully, avoiding the betrayal and manipulation that brought down Caesar from his once trusted friend Brutus. 2. Smart moves in competitive settings. In the realm of strategic play in competitive places, the tactics Greene advises can be seen in historical cases like the delicate dance between President Franklin D. Roosevelt and Soviet leader Joseph Stalin during World War II. Roosevelt's choice to team up with Stalin despite big differences in beliefs mirrors Greene's idea of using enemies for your own benefit. Even while seeing Stalin as a corrosive and dangerous force, Roosevelt knew he needed to work with him to beat the bigger threat of Nazi Germany. This practical view highlights the importance of seeing the strategic value of enemies, even if they seem against you. The Tehran Conference of 1943 is a prime example of Roosevelt cleverly handling Stalin. Aware of Stalin's want for respect, Roosevelt boosted Stalin's ego by letting Red Army successes take center stage. This calculated move not only kept Stalin's support, but also helped American goals of defeating the Axis powers. However, Roosevelt's approach had risks too. His ambassador's warning about needing to deal with Stalin, tough and barter, shows the challenges of working with enemies. Roosevelt walked a thin line between appeasing Stalin and protecting American interests, proving Greene's point about moving carefully in competitive spaces. Despite the complexities and uncertainties of their partnership, Roosevelt's ability to cooperate with Stalin for a time reflects Greene's principle of utilizing enemies' potential. By putting strategic goals over personal beliefs, Roosevelt showed the practical mindset needed for success in competitive environments. Essentially, the dynamic between Roosevelt and Stalin vividly illustrates Greene's philosophy of strategic engagement, showcasing how even bitter enemies can be smartly manipulated to serve one's aims in the quest for power and success. 3. Using conflict for personal growth. Moving from political power plays to medieval history, the brutal clash between King Henry II of England and his once trusted Chancellor Thomas Becket serves as a tragic but instructive narrative on the transformative impact of adversity. Becket's meteoric rise from commoner to the prestigious role of chancellor was facilitated by Henry II's patronage and admiration. Their bond, forged in the crucible of shared ambitions and camaraderie, initially flourished. However, the delicate equilibrium was upended when Becket's uncompromising devotion to the Church superseded his allegiance to the crown upon his consecration as Archbishop of Canterbury. This seismic shift in Becket's loyalties ignited a firestorm of discord between the two former allies. Henry II, in his quest to consolidate monarchical authority over ecclesiastical affairs, found himself at odds with Becket's staunch defense of the Church's autonomy. Their increasingly acrimonious dispute culminated in a fateful outburst from the king, which his overzealous knights misconstrued as a call to action, leading them to brutally slay Becket with their swords, martyring him on the altar in 1170. The brutal slaying shocked medieval Europe and reverberated throughout history, casting Henry II as both perpetrator and victim of the conflict. This tragic saga between Henry II and Thomas Becket serves as a cautionary tale, illustrating the peril of unchecked ambition and the complexities inherent in interpersonal relationships. Henry's initial elevation of Becket, born from a sense of camaraderie and shared goals, ultimately unraveled due to diverging priorities and ambitions. The once symbiotic relationship between monarch and chancellor devolved into a clash of wills, exacerbated by Becket's newfound allegiance to ecclesiastical authority. The conflict between Henry and Becket highlights the nuanced interplay between power dynamics, loyalty, and conflicting interests. Henry's attempt to consolidate authority over both secular and religious spheres clashed with Becket's unwavering defense of the Church's autonomy. Their discord underscores the inherent tension between personal agendas and larger institutional affiliations, a struggle that continues to resonate in contemporary society. Moreover, the aftermath of Becket's assassination serves as a sobering reminder of the unforeseen consequences that can arise from unchecked emotions and impulsive actions. Henry's impassioned outburst, while perhaps intended as rhetorical, ultimately led to irreversible bloodshed and tarnished his legacy for generations to come. Yet, amidst the tragedy, there are lessons to be gleaned. The tumultuous relationship between Henry II and Thomas Becket underscores the importance of discernment and adaptability in navigating interpersonal conflicts. It serves as a testament to the inherent fragility of trust and the necessity of maintaining a critical eye, even in the closest of relationships. Ultimately, the saga of Henry II and Thomas Becket exemplifies the transformative potential of conflict, albeit at great cost. Their story reminds us that adversity can serve as a crucible for personal growth and enlightenment, but only if approached with humility, resilience, and a willingness to learn from the complexities of human nature. In conclusion, Law 2 of the 48 Laws of Power offers invaluable guidance for navigating the complexities of human relationships and social dynamics. By being careful with blind trust and using good judgment instead, adopting smart moves in competitive settings, and using conflict to grow as a person, individuals can effectively apply this idea to improve their lives and reach their goals. However, it is essential to use this knowledge wisely and with integrity, or else one may fall into the traps of manipulation and dishonesty. We're now accepting donations in the form of subscriptions to our channel to support our upcoming projects. Feel free to donate. It won't cost you anything, but will greatly boost our confidence in providing the best content for you. Thank you for your support.